Acholi at crossroads, new faces, old fault lines, and the test of leadership. Introduction, a moment of transition and truth. The entry of 11 new faces into the Acholi parliamentary representation marks a critical transition for the sub-region. In interviews conducted by NBS television, several members of parliament reflected on the future of Acholi and the Acholi parliamentary group, APG. Their views, while diverse, expose deep-seated challenges, division, party loyalty conflicts, and a crisis of collective responsibility. This is not merely a political transition, it is a moment of truth for Acholi leadership. Key positions expressed by MPs. Honorable Aber Lillian expressed concern over excessive division within the APG, suggesting she might prefer to operate independently.
Myself, whether I should really stay as a member of the APG or continue doing my things on my own.
Honorable Ochan called for reforms in the upcoming 12th Parliament.
We have to unite. We have to work together. And the unity should not just be for us members of Parliament only. It has to come also to the cultural leaders and the religious leaders, the opinion leaders.
Honorable Ojara Mapenduzi emphasized wealth creation as the priority path forward for Acholi.
Number one on the agenda is wealth creation. Our people still languish behind. Looking at all the statistics, our people are not doing well.
Honorable Norbert, as interim leader before, acknowledged underlying tensions even before the disputed 11th Parliament and highlighted his efforts toward ceasefire and unity. His insistence that the APG must be non-partisan is both correct and revealing. It identifies party loyalty as the root cause of disunity.
My only achievement as the interim leader was to ensure that there was a ceasefire. That's all. We just managed to have an uneasy calm between the various camps. But the Acholi parliamentary group is not supposed to be partisan.
Mao's proposal to involve respected national figures such as Dr. Olara Otunnu and Chief Justice Emeritus Owiny Dollo is particularly commendable. It reflects a cognition that moral authority and elder statesmanship are urgently needed to rebuild trust and unity.
So we are going to organize a retreat, bring credible leaders like our elder brothers, Ambassador Olara Otunnu and Chief Justice Owiny Dollo, and some of our cultural leaders and other reputable people to speak to us. Then afterwards we will go and elect the new team of leaders.
The central problem: party loyalty versus regional responsibility. The clearest lesson from these submissions is this: Acholi's crisis is not a lack of leadership, it is a lack of collective courage. Party loyalty has repeatedly overridden regional responsibility. MPs find it easier to abandon Acholi positions than to risk displeasing their political parties. This is the heart of the APG's paralysis. A serious concern, the case of Honorable Aber Lillian. The most troubling position is the suggestion by Honorable Aber Lillian to isolate herself from the APG. This raises fundamental questions. What justification exists for stepping aside when Acholi faces Balalo land conflicts, nodding syndrome, land disputes, reckless charcoal destruction, Karamojong cattle raids, floods, and escalating human-wildlife conflicts in Agago and Kitgum? What moral logic allows any MP to disengage from collective struggle when the people are overwhelmed by interconnected crises? Leadership is not about comfort. It's about standing firm when the situation is most difficult. Dangerous precedents and excuses. One MP openly claimed he could not engage on the Balalo issue because Acholi sold their own land, and later there are no Balalo in his district. This logic is deeply flawed. By that reasoning, MPs from Gulu, Amor, or Moro could also refuse to speak on Karmojong raids simply because the raids do not directly occur in their districts. If leadership is reduced to district level self-interest, regional leadership collapses entirely. Another MP privately pushed for the deletion of a public statement opposing Balalo presence, only to restore it later under public pressure out of fear of being hated within the ruling party. This reflects political survival instinct, not leadership. The floods of East Acholi, a failure of duty. The floods in Agave district, Orina and Aber, were not minor incidents. They destroyed roads, gardens, and homes, forcing people into displacement camps. Despite Honorable Lillian being a state minister from Acholi, there was no food for relief, no emergency support, no visible intervention. Even retired Colonel Obuai Fearless, then LC5 chairperson of Pade district, now outgoing, publicly rebuked both Honorable Lillian and Honorable Ilaronet, Minister for Relief and Disaster Preparedness, during the Paul Located Memorial Prayers in Pade. He called it a shame that two Acholi ministers in the same office could allow their own people to suffer unattended. No corrective action followed. This is not just a policy failure, it is a moral failure. Advice to Acholi MPs: reclaim the APG as a non-partisan institution. Party membership must never override collective regional survival. Stop symbolic politics. Acholi does not need speeches, alcohol money, or temporary handouts. It needs structural solutions. Face earth issues directly. Balalo land conflicts, floods, insecurity, and environmental destruction required unified pressure, not silence. Leadership demands sacrifice. If protecting party favor requires abandoning Acholi, then the leadership mandate has already been betrayed. A warning: how history will judge you. The people of Acholi will not remember who defended which party line. That's it. They will remember who stood up when land was taken, who spoke when people were flooded and displaced, who chose unity over convenience, who chose Acholi over party survival. This generation of MPs must decide: do you want to be remembered for small money, for alcohol and silence, or for confronting the real crisis of your people? History is watching. Acholi is watching.